Let's check in on Marty Reed, who's going to update us on some of those pit stops. Marty?
Well, the big news on Will Hobgood was they had to take a turn, a wedge out of this car. It's not as quick as an adjustment as it is on a Winston Cup car, so that's why they had a longer pit stop. And you mentioned that Denny Duchesne had the smoke and is out. Well, that's really important because he had completed 98.8% of his laps, and if he would have been able to hold on to that and finish this race, he could have won an additional $3,000. Goody puts up 10 grand at the end of this race for who's leading the most laps, or finishing the most laps, I should say. Doc, back to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Marty. That explains why that extra time there in the Will Hobgood pit. You're riding along on top of Will Hobgood's Pontiac Sunfire. That's the wind's roof cam. Watch him work traffic, Benny.
He just closes in right on the back bumper of George Crenshaw, the Centos car, 07. Meanwhile, Crenshaw's in some traffic. There's the in-car camera, on-board camera, the Centos car. That's Scott Weaver in the two direct in front of him. And Will Hobgood right now is about a half lap down to the leader. He and B.J. Mackey are a half lap down to the leader, Danny Bagwell. Here goes Crenshaw on the inside. And he takes that spot away from Weaver. Now he has Mickey York, the 24 car. Once again, riding along with George Crenshaw. And look at the smoke out of that 24 car. Now back to Hobgood.
That's Scott Weaver right in front of him in the car number 2. Second-generation driver. His father, Floyd, a longtime competitor, now car owner in the Dash Series. Hobgood trying to move to the inside. That's a 65 car. Can't quite get the car to stick, and Weaver has him coming off the corner.
His best to get on the inside, can't quite do it. Now Weaver goes very high, and Hobgood takes that spot away. The 24 car has some smoke coming out of the rear of that car. I don't know if it's a tire rubbing or what it is.
And with heavy traffic back in the pack, our pole sitter Will Hobgood trying to work to the inside of Mickey York. Our leader, car number 10, Danny Bagwell in a Ford Probe, as we approach the halfway point here at Bristol, Tennessee. We'll be right back. Wild scramble at Bristol, Tennessee. The car number 10 is our leader. He is pulling in on Mickey York, the 24 car, and the 37, the yellow car, is in second spot. Benny, he is right beside him or had a shot at him for the lead.
I tell you, a couple of times he's been alongside the 10, and the 10 just turned left to stay in front. Talking about Danny Bagwell in the 10 car, and you're right, Huffman has caught him. The traffic has been the problem for these guys.
Neither of these two cars have pitted yet. They will need at least one pit stop to make it on fuel as we are at the halfway point. Next time by, 75 laps down, 75 to go. Bagwell the leader. He's the car number 10. Robert Huffman in the car number 37, the 1990 Series champion. He won both.
Oh, crash up in turn 1. Right in front of the leader. That's the 47 car that crashed on the front straightaway just a moment ago. Looks like he blew a right front tire just as he went down in turn 1. That's Gary Moore.
So lap 76, the 47-year-old veteran out of Horseshoe, North Carolina, brings out the caution for the 5th time.
Now Danny Bagwell and the fellas that did not pit before will have a chance to do that, but now they'll be back at the rear of the field and have to work their way through traffic as Hobgood, B.J. Mackey has had to do.
Here it's a replay again of what happened a moment ago. Boy, he hit it a ton up there just with the right rear, Benny.
Yes, he did. I said it looked like the accelerator might have hung on that car. Not sure exactly what happened. One more look at it. Just in the upper part of the screen. Yeah, I think he lost the right front tire because we saw the sparks coming from under the car. That means that the car was dragging the racetrack. Meanwhile, here Bagwell does come into the pits.
35 miles an hour. Looks like he's just taking his time, but that's the speed limit on pit road for the NASCAR Goodies Dash Series. And the crew now adding fuel to the car.
Meanwhile, Huffman is moving in the 37 car. Looks like he's going to get by Bagwell. Yes, he does. Bagwell is still sitting there. And Pardis gets by as well.
That was Danny's father, Wilson Bagwell, who's the engine builder and the crew chief on the car. They're overseeing what was going on. They were adding fuel to the car, but he lost a couple of spots in the pits. 33 would be shown as our new leader, Lyndon Amick. are under caution for the 5th time today in Bristol, Tennessee. Just past the halfway point, 78 laps complete. 72 remain here in the NASCAR Goodies Dash 150. Lyndon Amick, 18 years of age, being shown as our leader. We'll be right back. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, exciting NASCAR Goodies Dash Series action. Of course, a lot of NHL hockey action coming up tomorrow. The 1996 entry draft, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. That's from St. Louis, Missouri. The future stars of the NHL are picked on ESPN2. Watch to see your favorite teams pick their leaders of the future NHL hockey draft, entry draft, coming up at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Let's check in the pits with Marty Reed. Marty?
Well, guys, you mentioned the smoke you saw in the 24 car of Mickey York. He's the 1992 champion and the Iron Man of this series, and there's a good reason why he's staying out there. It's the inner seal on the left rear, and they think it will hold up till the end of this race. Keep your fingers crossed.
Boy, Mickey York has had an abysmal year. What a great guy. 3-time most popular driver. Just can't catch a break here in 1996. Green flag waves once again, lap 81. Last caution flag was 6 laps. That's the 5th caution flag of the day.
And Lyndon Amick jumps out to in the lead. There's a second place car, the 21. That's Mike Swain Jr.
Second place car being Mike Swain Sr., the father who owns it, the former 2-time series champion.
Did I say junior? I meant senior if I did.
There's George Crenshaw in the 07 going beneath Junior Miller. That's Will Hobgood, our pole sitter, and 1994 series champion. That's the Wynn's roof camera.
Ooh, and he and Junior just go down in the corner side by side. Meanwhile, B.J. Mackey, he's going to follow along, and Jimmy Foster.
Position on the racetrack. Hopgood the 65, 71, Mackey in 7 is Foster. Oh, 3 wide, and that will not work.
Oh, crash, heavy crash. Our pole sitters in it. No, we've got about 7, 8 cars. What a pile of sheet metal. Crenshaw's in it.
Danny Bagwell involved, Junior Miller involved.
Hopgood's involved.
Scott Weaver, Mike Swain Jr., Dan Pardis. 6th caution flag, heavy damage. 35 car also involved. That's David Amick. There's the Ford Mustang safety car, and that's what's left of the front end of George Crenshaw's Cintas Pontiac from the roof camera. Crenshaw, one of the cars involved, initiating this incident over in turn 2. I'm not saying that George initiated the accident. He was one of the 2 cars involved initially.
There's our pole sitter. Let's look at the replay, see if we can tell what happened. There we go, 3 abreast. That's Crenshaw on the inside. He makes some contact, and those cars go up and smack the wall. Meanwhile, Foster just gets by, and now the racetrack is blocked. There's B.J. Mackey. He might not have had too much damage on that 71 car.
Oh.
Wow, heavy blow.
Now watch Crenshaw and Mike Swain Jr. That's the Mike Swain Jr. car, number 28, the Spring Air Mattress Pontiac. Watch Foster comes up about on the inside, the car number 2, and watch the upper part of your screen. Boom, Dan Pardis. The 42 car has nowhere to go, locks the brakes down, and just slams the backside of the Crenshaw car.
And there's the 35 car of David Amick. Once again. Wow. NASCAR officials are talking about red flagging the race to get this mess cleaned up.
And you see the upper part of your screen, that was Pardis. Pardis' car damaged. Andy Houston apparently involved. His car coming across the top. Safety crews on the scene. There's drivers. There's Dan Pardis getting out of his car. What's left of his car, number 42.
He's slowly getting out of his car, I might add.
There's George Crenshaw with the Cintas uniform, a little bit wobbly and a little woozy, walking with the safety crews. The Spring Air fire suit there, middle of your screen. That was Mike Swain Jr. There's the George Crenshaw car. And we're going to show you the in-car replay from George Crenshaw's vantage point real time. Take a listen.
Man.
That was Dan Pardis, who was coming down, and Pardis had locked the brakes down and turned it right, but there was a car behind him that turned him. He ended up slamming head-on into that 07 car. That car is totally destroyed, the Crenshaw Pontiac. There's Danny Bagwell at the bottom of your screen walking away from the car number 10. He was one of our leaders. Bagwell was being shown second overall in the point standings, just 26 points back. And NASCAR officials have red flagged this race because of all these cars involved. There's Mike Swaim Jr. trying to stretch. Fortunately able to get up and walk away as we're under a red flag condition here at Bristol. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, the Goody's Dash Series Goody's 150 has completed 87 laps. We are under a red flag condition, and that's some of the carnage that's left. A 10-car accident, Marty Reed, coming out of turn 2, and there are drivers and cars back there working behind the wall. What all were you able to see? You caught up with anyone?
Yeah, we've caught up with David Amick, and they're working on his car, see if they can get him back in. First off, you okay?
A little dizzy. I feel like I just got blindsided by a linebacker.
Well, from what the guys were talking about up top, it looked like you got blindsided. Did you know what happened?
Well, we were coming out of 2, and that pack was running pretty tight together. And it was just, I guess, got together with some lap traffic, and it looked like a covey of quail going up right there, and there was just no place to go.
Well, good thing is you're okay. You think you're going to be able to get this fixed during this red flag?
I don't know. I think we got the radiator, and the front end's all messed up. I don't think we'll get back in tonight.
Okay, guys, that's the bad news for David Amick. I can tell you that no motor sound you just heard, that was number 10. Bagwell is trying to nurse it around. He needs the points.
Well, that's right, Marty. Danny Bagwell currently second in the point standings. He's just 26 points back of Robert Huffman. If you watch David Amick, David only runs a couple of races a year, so he loves to come to Bristol. He likes this racetrack. He's finished 13th last year and the year before. That's what's left of the Spring Air Mattress Pontiac. And there are the drivers, 10 of them that were involved in the crash.
Good gracious alive. I didn't realize there's that many people involved. That's almost a third of the field.
Some of the cars are trying to be repaired. Scott Weaver has made his way back around the pit road. There is the Danny Bagwell car, the Prime Star by TCI Ford Probe, and that's what was a Ford Probe.
What's left of a Ford Probe. Under NASCAR rules on the red flag, they can't work on the car, so obviously he has no real advantage taking the car into the garage area. He'll just sit there until they throw the caution flag starts waving in, and they can work on the car.
Let's take a look from the in-car of Mickey York, the veteran driver, real time. Let's take a look and listen. Man, that was Will Hobgood we were riding with there. Here's another look there. There's a 28 car. Swaim Jr., Crenshaw, there's Bagwell, the 10 car, Scott Weaver, the 2. Watch the upper part of your screen. Boom! In comes Pardis. And he had nowhere to go. Behind him was the 30 car, looked like. 35 of David Amick there. Once again, you're squeamish. You may want to look away.
This is George Crenshaw inside his car.
Well, Marty is caught up with the man who was our pole sitter, but he was involved in this, Will Hobgood.
Yeah, guys, and they were talking about how this track owed you one after 3 poles, but no wins, and here we are talking a lot sooner than you and I wanted to.
Yeah, I tell you, we just a misfortune of somebody else's mistake. I tell you, we were running good, the car was super. We was going right back to the front, just biding my time, trying to get by all this slow stuff, and 2 cars got together on the back straightaway, and I almost got them cleared, and they come down and hit us in the right door, and then we was part of the wreck.
Do you almost wish you hadn't have made that chassis adjustment now, because that's what put you back into that mess, really?
Yeah, but we felt like it would have been beneficial at the end of the race. No, because we was coming back through there. We was getting back to the front. That's the price you have to pay when you get in the back like that. But we was going to get in the back putting gas in it anyhow, so we figured a few more spots wouldn't hurt us. But, I guess it was the wrong move now, but, hindsight's better than foresight.
You're going to be able to get it fixed, get back out there?
We're going to patch it up and try to get out there and do what we can, yeah.
Guys, they said they may have a hole in the oil pan underneath, so it could be some serious patchwork. Will, good luck.
I want to say hi to Mom and Dad. They at home. We're all right. Jake's all right. We'll see you when we get home.
Well, there's the heavily damaged car of Will Hobgood. Already lost one race car already today. His son, Jake Hobgood, tagged the wall and had to withdraw from the starting field, so possibly 2 cars damaged in the Hobgood stable. Back with more from Bristol in a minute.